Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our Indy. This is Captain April, and these are the days of our Indy. Okay, I think it's time we had another reassessment of just what the hell is going on in Indy's brain and I guess in her life, because things have changed around outside her too, and that they're making things a bit critical. I've addressed in a few videos before, like this sudden thing. Well, she goes from just as recently as this past Thanksgiving, late November. Not going on T. Not going for that look. Not gonna go for this macho thing. I don't want to do. And then suddenly we're hearing about her having a freak out in the clinic, waiting for her first round of HRT thing. So what the fuck happened here? The one big change is her boyfriend moved in, and he's apparently pushing this thing. He's the one, because at least when he wasn't there all the time, she could unplug and think for herself for a bit. Now it's 24/7. Which means, guess what? I ain't going anywhere. As much as the standard thing is leave them alone, they'll figure it out on their own. Well, they have to be left alone. That goes for all sides. And I can't just sit back and leave her to the tender mercies of people who are basically trying to get her killed. That's what it amounts to here. Not as overt as someone walking and put a gun to the back of her head, but no, it's slow motion destruction here. Because Indy, again, for the longest time, no, you were never going to do it because you don't want those effects. You don't want the body hair. You don't want the beard. You want to stay cute. You want to go for an androgynous thing. And that is precisely what HRT will destroy. You're going completely against what you had in mind here. Why? Think for a second. Why are you doing this? And again, whole thing about therapy, you got to talk it out yourself, but also sometimes you got to have the bloody obvious pointed out to you because you're so thick in the middle of it. It's like, do you see what you're doing here? I don't know if codependency ever got brought up during your thing, but it's on full display now. You were so codependent upon your slavish little followers who are actually leading you around by the nose, and this boyfriend. I'm going to leave aside the various theories of how you came upon this boyfriend in the first place, but everything's really starting to line up now that maybe those conspiracy theories are actually true, that he was targeted to you. Because apparently you looked on the site one time, didn't find anybody, and certain persons try again, and suddenly this person appears, having all the right answers, saying just the right things. And now he's moved in, steering you further down the road you didn't really want to go down. But you got a codependency going on there that you've always been there. It's always been there. You've always really depended upon your audience and your fans to kind of validate your, sense of self-worth. And now it's getting narrowed down to this one group that really do not have your best interests at heart. If they did, they would not be urging you to basically alter and mutilate yourself for their kicks. They don't love you, Indy. They're not your friends. They're using you. They are sucking you down in the hole here, okay? They sure as fuck aren't deserving of your love, okay? You need to get the hell out of this. But yeah, it's like you're so codependent, but I don't know if this goes back to when you're little, but I think it goes back to middle school, and that video of yours, all you wanted to do was get back to where you were before this shit happened. And just over and over again in your streams and about your streams, one of the ring, like doing what you do is you're making friends. And it's like, imagine, if you will, the situation in the movie Inside Out, where all the very bad controls. Who's at the controls of your, thing? That scared little 13-year-old, battered and just wanting somebody to love me. Please forgive me for what has happened. It's not your fault, okay? For what it's worth, I forgive you, okay? Just, you need to get off this train because you have hooked up with people who are going to destroy you. Like I said, you want to keep doing what you're doing. You go on this stuff, that's over. You're going to destroy your looks. You're going to destroy your voice. And you're really going to do a number on your genitalia. Again, that's one of the things they don't like to talk about much. But again, it's like, grossly outside, your clitoris, vaginal atrophy, early onset menopause. You don't need to have the hysterectomy at that point. It'll just shut everything down for you. And forget the big, dildo the size of your forearm. It's like you'd be lucky to get a tampon in there. Some girls, like, you can't even do that much. It's like shrivels up and like any sexual activity will be, painful, damaging. You'll start tearing down there, It won't be the good pain from the anal stuff. It'll be, no, this is now you're doing serious damage. You think these guys are going to support you after that? Think, Indy. Think about what's going on here. Take a step back and look at what is happening here. You've got to get these guys out of your life because they're going to run you right off a damn cliff. Now, again, this is the sort of thing that should be done in private. But again, you've made one... Again, block me, so I can't do it in private with you. But you've also turned this whole thing to a big old reality show. So guess what? The audience, thinks they can get a vote on who gets to stay on the island. All right. Now, on a more practical matter, that counter for the girl video fund. If it's not working, fine. If it's a technical thing. But if these idiots are saying, leave it at 0 to encourage... No, it won't. People don't like start, especially if it's been sitting at 0 for a long time. It looks like nobody cares, and then no one's going to jump in. You need to give a running total on that. That's why they do it on marathon, telethons. What's the total here? People love jumping on bandwagons. Case in point, you jumped on this trans bandwagon like it's going out of style. Thankfully, it is wriggling. Okay, but. It's like, buskers on the street. Before they set up, they get going, set up the guitar case, they throw a few bucks of their own in there. No one wants to be first, but they sure want to join in and help you get over that total. So that's why I'm jumping in. I was like, look, guys, the last total we got is like $358 and like 28 cents, whatever. So, yes, people are contributing. Contribute more. Jump in on this. Get in on this, guys. This is our chance to have a voice. But if they're going to think, no, leave it at 0. No. Who's the guy who went to broadcasting school and knows the thing to do about marketing and imaging? Listen to the professional here. You get that counter working. Get the total up there. Let people know what you need. Because when it's 0 and the goal is 5,000, well, I can't do anything. But if they know I've already gotten a few $100 so far, well, I can throw in a few $100. I can throw in a couple bucks. So again, I think a counter that's pretty basic. That goes back to when I was doing a website on AOL, for God's sakes. And I certainly had it for the live stream. So what the hell's going on here? Who's the incompetent here? So you got to get that fixed if you're going to get any progress on that. But of course, if this bunch of things, they're not really interested in helping you do more girl. They want all femboy all the time. They're urging you to chop your tits off at the earliest opportunity. Brentley Jean's bragging he'll have you chopping them off by Christmas. The hell with all the provisos and the things you want to make sure are in place for it and make sure you got the right. No, Christmas. That's his Christmas present. Your tits are gone. How about you telling Gene to go fuck off and die? They're not his tits, they're yours. You deal with them the way you want to deal with them. That's the thing. You keep doing I have agency. Well, then tell him to fuck off and die, okay? Tell him to shut the fuck up. He is not in charge of you, okay? Because he's acting like he is. Again, Indy, you've got to get out of this, man. This is getting too far. You are now in danger of destroying what you've built up here. There will be no coming back. If you go through this stuff and you start screwing up your body so badly you can't do anything else. You will be crawling back home to your folks and trying to get some work from them, okay? Because no one's going to want to hire you. Think about it. You'll be, pushing 30, burned out, porn star. When's the last time you had a regular job? And that's not a knock. I'm just saying, as far as, if someone's going to be a hiring manager and looking at you and you haven't worked since, this? You haven't had a regular job in 10 years? What the hell have you been doing? Well, I had a website. Oh, A lot is riding on it. More that's riding on this than I think you realize, okay? This is your life. Such as it is, this is your life, and they are endangering it very badly for their own sick pleasure. They don't care about you. They care about what they can get from you. And I know there's a lot of financial incentive you're trying to ride this out, but you're riding it off a cliff. Again, this whole trans thing is falling apart around the damn world. Every country in the world is saying, no, stop this. This is wrong. We're the only place left that's going whole hog on it for one reason. It's financial. There was a big conference of doctors. They were, the whole thing about transgender, they were going about how much money they're making on it. They didn't give a fuck about the care, the customer, the patient care. There was not one syllable mention about actually, caring for anybody. It was how much they make on a breast reduction, how much they make on a phalloplasty. And people were applauding. This is a grift from the get-go. And you're bought into it. And they're signing up to be the next contestant, okay? Now, you've got enough set aside. I'm not going to say how much, I've been told how much you have, but you got a decent amount. You could retire right now and be fine. You'd have to, move someplace cheaper. I think. But for right now, you're not hurting, but you will be soon, especially if these guys, really sabotage you. And then it's like, there goes your income stream. What do you have? Because no one's going to want to sign up for this shit. A lot of people are already bailing because I didn't sign up for this crap. I was here for a girl, not for some crazy chick playing with a plastic dick. And seriously, you got to get out of this. And again, talking practically, there will always be a market for standard girl porn. Okay. I think Pornhub already showed that there isn't one for a girl pretending to be a guy with a fake dick. The people looking for that are looking for real live dicks. And you pissed off a lot of people by claiming to be a boy. And it's like, what the fuck is this? You had enough complaints coming in and they finally conjured up a reason they could gracefully kick you out. And speaking of that, I wonder how much of this, codependency and desperation to be loved has to do with you and Tyler breaking up. Because I saw the Pinterest page you had thing when you two were engaged. You were seriously going for and that had to hurt. And yeah, I know you're pissed off right now that I even brought it up, but facts are facts. Things come from somewhere. I'm also curious, how much of this doing porn in the first place came from you two doing videos, or whether you were doing it first and he joined in, or what. I'd like to know about that, frankly. That could explain a lot. But that's not to be dealt with publicly. That'll be if we can finally get to the point where we can talk privately again, and then we'll hash it out there. But Indy, come on, you got to get your head out of your ass and get out of this. They're running you right off a fucking cliff. They don't care about you. They care about what they can get out of you. You think you're grifting them for the money? They're grifting you, and I think it's a lot worse than money. They don't care. They don't care about the money. They're throwing at you like it's going out of style. But you're performing monkey to them. How about Jean's taking bets? How much you want to bet I can get her to chop her tits off by Christmas? No, they don't care when I need. Shit. All right. Try it again. No, just by their actions. They do not care what you have to say about it, except to say, "Oh, you're so smart. You're better and you're smarter than Bob is. Oh, yeah, you're queen. They're sucking up to you. They're sucking up to you. All right? But they don't give a rat's ass what they're just, sucking you in and getting you to do whatever they want. All right? Like I said, I'll lay odds. Gene's probably got a betting pool. How soon is Guinea going to chop her tits off? His money is on by Christmas. Never mind the fact that you put impossible conditions on it. If they can get you to whittle away, but like I said, generally these surgeries are intended for the only person who's going to see them has been like significant other. Partner type thing, and you put yourself in a position where you gotta pretty much have to be able to put yourself on display for your video and for the content, and there's no way any surgeon is going to be able to meet those things. There's going to be scarring. The whole reason the nipple is where it is, it's undergirded by a lot of ducts and thing, and it's like when you got to graft it, then that's gone. It's just there, and it may take and may not. And I've heard, again, up to over 24 detransitioners, and some of them, a nipple just, suddenly just falls off. The graft didn't take. Like, what do you do then? And like I said, it's not a matter of just the tits are not. In the process, they pretty much sever every nerve ending in there. It's not that you don't feel that. You don't feel anything. You might as well be pounding on plywood at that point. And at that point, you got a constant reminder: I fucked up. I can't feel my own chest now. And that's a good point of like, you might want to revisit it's like some kind of reduction, okay? Or just get properly fitted for a bra. You probably have never been properly fitted. Most women aren't. But that's another issue way down the line. First, we'd get back you off of this cliff first. You don't want to go on HRT. You said it over and over again. You don't want to do it, so don't do it. Exercise that fucking agency you keep talking about, and don't do it. Don't do what these assholes are trying to get you to do. Someone trying to force me. What are they doing? They're trying to force you into a fucking thing you don't want to do. For goddamn good reasons. Because it's going to ruin everything. Everything you've built up, I think that they're going to destroy it. I don't even want to know why. What it's in it for them to do this to you. And that's what they're doing. They're doing it to you. This side of the fence, we're trying to keep, not trying to fork you to do it. We're trying to get you to stop doing this shit. It's dangerous. It sucks, and you know it's not right. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I'm trying to stay by your own word. You didn't want to do this. You swore up and down you weren't going to do it, and now you're doing it. What the hell's going on here? And I get a little morbid. I keep thinking, about Janis Joplin. She hated needles, too. She was scared to death of them. How'd she die? Heroin overdose. The stuff she got wasn't cut properly. She should have died with the needle still in her arm, but she actually managed to get up and walk around, talk to the hotel staff downstairs, and then died the second she closed the door. She was dead before she hit the ground. She was scared to death of needles. And that's what happened to her. Now, what do you think they're going to do to you? You need to get out of this, okay? Admit it, it's trendy being trans. You're a part of something big. You're a part of a social movement. It's a social movement built on complete and total lies. And it's falling apart everywhere you look around. Most of the country, in fact, we're the only country holding out. It's only parts of the country holding out. Most of the country saying, no, fuck you. Stop it. I was thinking, figure a culture has reached peak depravity or starts sacrificing its kids. Well, we're there now. People are happily, taking their kids and sterilizing them and mangling them beyond a belief. It's like, and you're playing into it. Genuine trans people don't do this. They try to blend in. They're not going to do all this crap, and you're doing it. So you got to get off this bandwagon before it runs you over. And we'll talk at you later.